by strength and conditioning coach as well as new gym owner Jess Moore. How are you today, sir?
Good. How are you?
Doing all right. So why don't you tell my audience a little bit about yourself?
So like you said, I'm a strength and conditioning coach, personal trainer, and new gym owner for Champ Camp Training and Fitness. We just opened up our doors 3 weeks ago. Really blessed and very happy that we're able to finally open up our doors, especially coming up out of COVID. It's been kind of crazy times, but yeah. So I've been personal training since 2007. I got my bachelor's degree in science in biology. But yeah, been personal training since 2007, and I just love working with people, and so really blessed to be able to work with people a little bit more, and especially with my community, and do great things for our community.
I want to tell a little story about Jess. This goes back probably 7 or 8 years ago. I was this little kid in a gym where he was training at the time. He was doing like a boot camp class for some people, and I was on the leg machine. The leg press machine. I remember I had my feet down the bottom, and just terrible form. I didn't know any better though, and I mean, I was doing a terrible job at it, but I didn't know. So out of the corner of my eye, I see Jess walking over, and he comes over to me and he like slaps the top of it. Hey, put your feet to the top of it, and he kind of like set my feet for me. And at the time, I was like, wow. He went out of his way to help me. Like, you know, it meant a lot. And I think that just kind of goes to show about the type of person he is. He's willing to go the extra mile for people. He's willing to go out of his way and help people and correct people if they're doing something wrong that can hurt themselves. And, you know, it goes to show also, like, you know, just the smallest little thing can have a huge impact on someone's life. And my question for you is, what are you going to be doing to impact other people's lives in this community through this platform that you've created in this new gym that you've started?
My big thing with this is I don't want to have your cookie cutter box gym. I don't want 1,000 people in here. I really want to make sure that we limit our memberships. We can keep a cap on it so that when we create a personable and quality environment. I've worked with a lot of companies and gyms that you enter the door and they don't even know your name, they don't know your goals. And that's a huge thing to me. I feel like at the end of the day, they just know your credit card number. And so that's sad to me. You know, I love health and fitness. It's helped me out a lot in my time. And so I really think that just being able to offer a more personable and quality environment, we really pride ourselves on why when you get a membership, we do consultations, everything from functional movement screens, different types of assessments to see how your body works, and then try to tailor a program accordingly for you. Even if you're not a personal training client, we'll still prescribe you at least a 4-week program that is customized for you and be able to help you down the road with it. So we're really hands-on here, and a big avenue that I'm really excited to do is, like I was explaining to you, is our youth exercise programs. I really think it all starts from the ground up, and the youth in our community, if we're able to help them out, especially with PE classes being online nowadays, to give them a good revenue or a good avenue to be able to exercise.
So growing up in this smaller town of Washougal, you know, we got big cities around, you know, Vancouver, Portland, but I feel like there's two main types of people in towns like this. You know, ones that are, I can't wait to get out of here and do something with my life. And then ones that are, you know, I want to do something in my life here and give back to my community. What were some of the reasons and influences that you had that kind of made you want to start your dream here?
I would have to say probably my family was just such a huge thing. So my family's been here since the 1850s. We've owned a lot of Washougal. Even where like Jump to Guard Middle School is, we used to have like prune orchards over there. We slowly sold it off over the years, and I just love this area. I've moved away a few times for training and everything, and I always came back. And I just love this town. I really do. At the end of the day, like I just love it, and I see such great things for the future of Washougal and even Camas too. And so I just really want to be able to give back. I've had so many great male role models just from this community, whether it be from high school coaches to just teachers, and I really think that if I can give back in some way, shape, or form to our community, I can die a happy man, you know, so.
Well, so we're wearing the name of the gym is Champ Camp. Got the logos right here. What was the origin story behind the name?
So last year, So I train a lot of MMA fighters. I have a few guys in the UFC, like Ricky Simone, Ed Herman, and just a few other ones as well. And so last year, or 2 years ago, Ricky and I, we were getting ready for, right before he got into the UFC, he was fighting for a promotion called LFA. And so basically it was, LFA is a good funnel. It's like the minor leagues for the UFC. You do well there, usually you'll get funneled into it. So he was getting ready for a world title fight. So world title fights in MMA are 5-minute rounds. So they're intense. And so going into those fights, we do a 6 to 8 week fight camp. And so start them off a little bit slow, and then we just ramp it up. And so I'm huge on motivating my people. And so especially when it comes to like fighters or really anybody. And so, you know, getting ready for the fights, be like, come on, let's go, champ, you know, it's champ camp, you know. And so it just kind of kept rolling, and then he dominated that fight, defended his belt for LFA, and then he got his, right when he defended his belt for the LFA, he got the call that night that he got into the UFC. So after 2 fights in the UFC, we got a contract to fight a Brazilian guy over in Australia. And so I'm really blessed, you know, I'm able to travel with all of my people, and so I'll help warm them up before the fights and help with like weight cutting and everything. It's a great experience. Like I said, I'm really blessed for being able to go with them, but there are some expenses that come with it. And so it was the night before we were flying out for Australia, and if anybody knows, Australia is not like super cheap. So and I'm super cheap. So anyways, so I was typing in to start my own business to cover some of my expenses for the strength and conditioning that I run for MMA. And I was playing with everything from like my last name, and everything like just sounded like, best way to put it is, just didn't sound like me, you know. It wasn't genuine, it wasn't good. And so anyways, last second, I kind of just put in, like my flight left at 3, and I was up at like midnight. I just wasn't sleeping, and I was like, all right. So I put it in champ camp training, and it got accepted, and I was like, no way, cool, man. And so it kind of just flowed with it, and so I did that for a long time, and that was like February of 2019, and then that covered my expenses for my strength and conditioning people, and then, not all of them, but some of them. And then when I was looking to do my own gym, I just kind of rolled with it, and I just love it, just because it doesn't just tailor towards just MMA people. It's everybody across the board. It's just having a different type of mindset, you know, and that's the big thing. Like I said, it's not just physical in here, it's psychological. And if I can help you like change not just your physical well-being, but your mental well-being, that's such a huge thing. And, you know, I preach that to all my people. It's like establishing goals and then having that driven mindset with it is such a beautiful thing. So that's a long story, but that's where it comes from.
So when did you start, like, kind of realize that, hey, I want to specialize in, you know, in fighters? Where did that background come to start?
So I started fighting. I started competing in MMA. My first fight was in 2007. For my senior project in high school for Washougal High, I started learning jiu-jitsu. And so that was the great thing. I grew up wrestling, and then I got to start choking people, and I was like, oh man, this is super cool, you know. And so I just kept rolling with it, and was hooked up with a lot of great people over the years. So I started training down in downtown campus at Universal MMA and Universal Jiu-Jitsu under Mel Locke, and just had great people around me. And so I just started training in MMA 2007, did a bunch of amateur fights, and then became a pro fighter after that. And, you know, and so and I was still personal training at the same time. And so it was actually Ricky, one of his strength and conditioning coaches kind of fell out, and he had a big King of the Cage fight coming up. And so he was like, hey man, is there any way that you can help me out with this? Because I was running my own conditioning at the time, and he was like, hey, is there any way? And so we sat down and got to work, and ever since then, it's just like Yeah, it's been awesome. Really blessed with that. It's something I'm just super motivated with. Like I've always enjoyed personal training, but I feel like that really opened up my eyes and been like, I love what I do. You know, I've always been a big proponent of like, hey, chase your dreams. You know, do what you love to do. And I feel like every single of the people that work with me, they can see that. I try to, you know, really vocalize that and try to really embrace that I have that love for it.
So you talked about you graduated college with, you said biology degree?
Yep.
Okay, so.
WC Vancouver.
So it doesn't sound like, you know, starting a gym and being a personal trainer and trying to make a career out of it was always your goal. Mm-hmm. Just talk about how your path in life kind of changed once you graduated college.
So once I graduated college, I was working over at All Pride back in the day, and just doing like some light personal training and front desk type stuff. And then I got a job. I was kind of really burnt out on school because what I was looking to do was either go physician's assistant route or physical therapy. And I was like, all right, well, I'm going to take a year off and then see what I really want to do. And so during that year, I started climbing cell towers and just for the fun of it, for a position. And then from there, I started working in a lab. And I worked in the lab for about a year, and I was making really good money. But I just didn't enjoy it. And local gym reached out to me. I was working out there, and they needed a personal trainer. They had just bought out the facility, and they needed a personal trainer. And so from there, I was just like, all right, cool. You know, I just missed it. I missed working with people. I feel like at the end of the day, like if you're not striving to make somebody else's life better, like, or trying to have like some sort of impact on society or especially our community, then I feel like you just need to refocus, and that's my point of view with it. And so I took a huge pay cut and got back into it that way. And yeah, I'm very blessed for my biology degree because it really helps me with like, I took A&P and stuff, so human anatomy and physiology, and so it really helped me really understand how the body works, and from simple things like chemical pathways and everything.
So it sounds like, you know, from an outsider's perspective, I feel like, you know, you found your purpose and you pursued it, and that's something that's, you know, truly an incredible thing that I don't think a lot of people are doing nowadays. They're, you know, looking for a steady salary, steady pay, you know, and they're kind of sacrificing what they want to do in their life. And I feel like I challenge anyone that's watching this is, you know, find your purpose and pursue it, because that's truly an incredible thing. But what advice would you give to someone that's, you know, kind of was on the path that you were when you first came out of college, you know, not knowing what they want to do, going from job to job, trying to find their purpose? What advice would you give to them?
I would just say sit down and figure out, like, it's such a hard thing, you know, because everybody wants you to, get that stable position. You know, I've been, you know, asked so many times or proposed like different positions where like, you know, it was like a cubicle type job, but you make good money and 9 to 5 stability, but that's just not me. I would really say, you know, take a good look in the mirror and figure out what really you're passionate about, what raises up the hair on your skin, you know, type thing, you know, and chase that, you know, because I mean, 365 days, they go by super quick. So if you start putting in the time now towards that dream and start chasing that, I mean, that year is going to go by, and then you can be there, you know. I still have so much work to do on my dream, but every day I might wake up motivated and blessed. You know, I have a great support system from my family, girlfriend, everything like that help me stay motivated, and I'm blessed, man. Like, I don't know. I can just say, you know, it took me a long time to be able to build up the confidence to be like, hey, you know, why not me? Why can't I own my own gym? Why can't I do better things for this community, you know? So it just takes a good long look in the mirror and realizing that, hey, you can do anything you set your mind to. I don't care what position you're in, you can do anything. The human brain, the human body is such an amazing thing. So I just say chase.
Why don't you tell everyone where they can find your gym as well as you on social media? Okay,
so the gym is at Champ Camp Training. on IG, Champ Camp Training and Fitness, Facebook. My coaching one is at Coach Jess CCT. And then our website will be launched this weekend. It's www.champcamptraining.com. And then we are located at 1434 East Street, Washougal, Washington, 98671. And yeah, just shoot me a message. I really hope more and more people come through here because I love this place. I feel like this is what I consider not your average gym. You know, we are a hybrid thing. We're a 24/7 facility, but we don't have all your cookie cutter box equipment. You know, we have turf, we have free weight section, we have 2 different squat racks, we have heavy bags, we have everything, and we're still growing. And that's the beauty with it is like, come in now until I cap off the membership, join the family, and just see it grow and be a part of the journey, you know?
So I'm gonna put all of his links to his gym and his Instagram in the description of the video, as well as mine. If you guys liked today's video, hope you learned something from it. Like it, share it to somebody that you think you can learn from it as well. Hope you guys enjoy. Till next time, God bless.